Right, Quantum Faction. Tenshoku. Let's do it to it. Starting with Misato, Quantum Traveler, Ruler. Kind of looks like Cesar Cat a little bit, doesn't she? Right? Adventurer with Energize, white, green, black. Meaning, for the 5th time, if you start second player, you get to get a coin. That lets you energize. You can sack the coin to get one of those colors of resources. Non-resonator spells you control cost 1 less to play. When you play your 3rd spell card of the turn, add a legend counter to this card. Remove 5 legend counters from this card. Take an extra turn after this one. Wow. Ramu the Manipulator, the legend, the alternative to Judgmenting. Costs 3 legend counters, 6/6. A Legend Sacred Warrior. If you don't control a Resonator, you can't play spell cards. If an opponent doesn't control a Resonator that shares an attribute with the Resonator you control, that opponent can't play spell cards. Enter. Search for a spell card and add it to your hand. Remove 3 Resonators in your graveyard from the game. Return target Resonator in your graveyard to your hand. Activate this effect once per turn. At the end of your turn, banish a Resonator unless your ruler has Misato in its name. At the end of your turn, banish a Resonator unless your ruler has Misato in its name. Okay. Yeah. Yep, she's Misato. Tripping. Alright. So, like, this legend is tied to this ruler. Unless there's another Misato. But alright. Masaki the Ethereal Warrior. 6/6. 2-drop. 1 yellow. A Resonator Warrior, Swiftness. Whenever you play a Quantum spell card, you may pay 1. If you do, each opponent loses 300 life and you gain that much life. Okay, nice stall control life gain. Quantum Acolyte, Natsumi. 3/3. A Resonator Maiden. Enter, search for a Quantum non-Resonator card and add it to your hand. This card is a spell normal card when not in play. Ethereal Endowment, 2-drop, 1 white, spell normal. You may play this card as a spell instant. Target Resonator you control gets +5/+5 and gains dash until end of turn. If this target is a Quantum Resonator, it also gains whenever this card destroys an opponent's res. Search for a Quantum card and add it to your hand until end of turn. You may play Ethereal Endowment once per turn. And dash, I've already defined it before, but dash I think is you can use it as like a haster, but you can't hit the opponent's life stack. Yeah, so dash may rest or attack Resonators the turn it enters play, but may not direct attack on the turn it enters. Cool. Pull from the Ether, 0-drop, spell normal. Put target spell card in your removed area, not named Pull from the Ether, into your hand. You may play Pull from the Ether once per turn. Nice. Minami Magical Swordswoman, 6/5, 2-drop, 1 green. Resonator Warrior, Manifest, Quantum Resonator, or 1 green. Back to Manifest. Manifest is a new terminology for incarnation. Manifest is a continuous effect. It changes how the card is played. Okay, so as you play this card, rather than paying its cost, you may banish a specific number of Resonators with those attributes or archetypes. Cool. Yeah, so you can just sack a Quantum Resonator or spin the 1. Something like that. So opponent's Resonators can't attack unless their controller pays 1. Shuffle a non-Resonator card from your graveyard into your deck. Target Resonator gains +2/+2 till end of turn. Activate this effect once per turn. Cool. Elsa Magical Summoner. 2-drop. 1 green. 5/5. Resonator Mage. Whenever you play a spell card, add a spell counter to this card. Remove 2 spell counters from this card. Each player draws a card. Remove 4 spell counters from this card. Search for a Quantum Resonator and add it to your hand. Purveyor of Truth and Lies. 2 green. 6/4. Resonator Seer. Reveal this card from your hand. Discard another card. Put this card from your hand on the chase. Activate this effect only if a Resonator came into play under your opponent's control and its printed cost wasn't paid this turn. And opponents can't remove cards from the game. Discard this card. Remove target card in a graveyard from the game. Very multi-use. Okay, Judgment of the Maggots. 4-drop, 2 green. Spell normal. This card costs 1 white more to play if you don't control a Quantum Resonator. Each player selects 1 Resonator they control and removes the rest from the game. Then each player selects 1 card in their standby area and banishes the rest. Okay. A lot of spot removal. Well, semi-board wipe. Quantum Gate, Portal to the Aether. 2-drop, 1 green. And Addition Zone. At the start of your turn, put target spell card in your graveyard or graveyard on the bottom of your deck, then draw a card. Last will, search for a Quantum Resonator with a total cost less than or equal to the number of Quantum non-Resonator cards in your graveyard and put them into play. Each effect of Quantum Gate, Portal of Aether can only be used once per turn. Natsume's Trance, Quantum. Spell normal as an addition cost to play this card. Maybe additional. Banish a Resonator or discard a spell. Draw 2 cards. Remove this card in your graveyard from the game. Produce 1 colorless. This resource can only be used to pay for Quantum Resonators. And you may play Natsume's Trance once per turn. Queen and Ether Juno. 4-drop. 2 black. 8/8. Looks like a pixie. Death Pixie. Dark Pixie. Resonator Queen. If there are 3 or more Quantum spell cards in your graveyard, this card gets +4/+4. Enter. If 4 or more Quantum spell cards are in your graveyard, search for a Quantum spell and add it to your hand. Enter. If 5 or more Quantum spell cards are in your graveyard, search for a Quantum spell res with total cost 3 or more and put it into play. Each triggered effect of Queen of Aether Juno can only be used once per turn. Hyper Librarian. She looks like a calm librarian. 3-drop, 1 purple, 8/8. Resonator Instructor. Barrier, which is like indestructible, right? I mean, untargetable. Barrier can't be targeted by spells or effects opponents control. Yeah. Alright, Barrier. When this card is put into play by a card effect, target any number of cards in either removed area and shuffle them into their owner's deck. Enter. Return up to 2 target Quantum spell cards from your graveyard to your hand. Cool. Quantum Barrier. 2 generic. Spell instant. If this card would target a Quantum Resonator, you may pay 1 less to play this card. Target Resonator you control gains Barrier or Eternal until end of turn. Sweet art. Forgotten Ritual. 1-drop. Colorless. Spell normal. As an additional cost to play this card, reveal a Quantum spell normal card not named Forgotten Ritual from your hand. Target a Quantum spell normal card in your graveyard. This card effect becomes the targeted card's effect. You may play Forgotten Ritual once per turn. Okay. proxy in hand. Cool. Peer into the infinite. 0 drop. Spell normal. Search for a quantum spell card not named Peer into the infinite and add it to your hand. You may play Peer into the infinite once per turn. Cool. And 0 Quantum Gate Maggots. 5 drop. All 3 colors available to your ruler. 9/9. A Resonator Human / 6 Sages. These are like the Elder Dragons of Force of Will. The 6 Sages. Like even more special than, well, yeah, like the Elder Dragons. You may discard 3 quantum spell cards rather than pay this card's cost. Enter. Resonators your opponent controls lose all effects until end of turn. This effect can't be chased. Remove a quantum non-resonator card from your hand or graveyard from the game. Destroy target non-resonator entity. Activate this effect once per turn and only on your turn. Cool, cool, cool. Cheat that in. Lose all effects. Cool. And then just sack something from your hand to destroy target non-resource entity. Cool. Yeah, not really my play style, I don't think, but I would still love to give it a try though. Right? And then who we got up next? What faction is next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6th faction will be the Shinobi. No Sega Genesis. No Sega anything. Alright. Check y'all on the next one. Holler.